This time on Roadworthy Rescues, we do North Dakota things. All right. Viper's still good. This week on Roadworthy Rescues, my brother Sean and I are headed way up north to the family farm.
Which is way northwest North Dakota.
Pretty much a ghost town today, which is where we grew up. And I've got some cars kind of stashed away up here for some someday projects. There's supposed to be a Chevelle in here somewhere. I think it'd be cool if we could drag the Chevelle out, get it running, and just build a gravel bomber.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little cruiser or something up here for his family, you know, instead of having to borrow one of Chris's rigs or something to come out here, so.
Yeah, like this truck, the battery was dead.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Weird.
Yeah, well, let's swing in. Here it is. We'll swing in and see if we can find the Chevelle. I haven't seen it in years. Oh, there it is. It's on the back. Perfect. Oh.
Easy. Hole there.
All right, let's go check this thing out. All right, Sean, we've got a four-door 71 Chevelle Malibu.
Oh.
You know me, I like the crew cabs. I've done a lot of four doors, but not the 71, 72, or 70. And I just had to have this thing. The paint is a lot cooler than I remember it. Like, it's got a lot of that patina? Work. Yeah. Fast way to tell the difference between 71 and 72 is a marker lens. This has a centerpiece. The other one is just one big piece. Otherwise, they're basically an identical car. Pop that hood, see what we got.
Yeah.
Under the bumper.
Oh, God.
A-body Chevy. Where you going?
Oh, there it is.
It's like, what are you, changing the oil?
Well.
Blink twice if you need assistance.
I need assistance.
You're just laying in a cow pie, by the way.
That's
fine. I should mention. A, that was not stuck. 2, this is an active cow pasture, legitimately. And this is where I've been storing some of my projects. I try to hide the better ones in the middle. Yeah. All right, we got V8-age. 307, super common. Turbo fire. Everything seems to be here. Old point. It looks original, actually. Manifolds.
No power steering.
Oh, yeah. Pump's completely gone, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice to have.
Brake lines look nice and crisp.
Oh, boy. They do, don't they? See what the oil looks like. Oh, it's in there.
It's in there. Smells good. A little milky.
Oh, it's got water.
Yeah.
That's great. Definitely where you don't want the water is in the engine. So as per usual, I bought this off a farmer, what, 4 years ago?
4 years ago?
And it had been sitting umpteen, 11, 9 or 4 years before that. But we're in the land of Chevrolet over here, so if we need an engine,
I think we're covered.
We got one. If we need a transmission, we probably got one. So I think we just jump right in, pour something down the yap.
See if it fires off.
Make some noise. And then we should probably take it to farms right over the hill.
Yep.
Get it into the shop so we can lay on some broken concrete from the 50s. And continue to work on it there. We can get out of the cow pies. It smells real good. All right, gas. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a lightning cube in this, get that installed. And then Sean's gonna go ahead and start tearing in the ignition stuff and all of that. Maybe even change the spark laters. Well, this one's clearly got water in it because it was rusted to the block. Sean's gonna twist on the key. We're just gonna see, you know, if it even has a starter.
Ready?
Yep. Huh? Oh yeah, there it is. Number 1. Number 4, that's good.
We get some good spray out of it.
Pretty decent. At first, it was literally just dust. It was like a mummy's sarcophagus. It was like, ugh. But I was leaning in here looking at this. I noticed on the fender here that this was made in Oshawa, Ontario. This is a Canadian-built Chevelle. That's pretty cool. You actually don't see a lot of these. And this was kind of funny too. It says, hey, you should change your oil, you know, every 2 months. If it's, you know, above 32 degrees, every 4 months. Pretty nonchalant. And this is cool on the inside too. Since it's a Canadian car, the dash has kilometer indicators on the plastic, but still has the mile per hour down in there. 28,000 miles, it shows. It's clearly rolled over, but it could be 128,000. The turn signal lever works, the bearing isn't shot in the column, the pedals look pretty decent, the dome light comes on. Overall, this thing's got more issues than Sports Illustrated, but I think we're gonna try to work it out. All right, who wins in a fist fight, Colonel Sanders or Rocky Balboa in the last movie?
Rocky Balboa, always.
I disagree. Colonel Sanders. He has a cane, man.
Yeah, but Colonel Sanders is old for eternity.
I think it's sparking. I'm not kidding either. Hey, look at me. It's got spark.
Well, that's good.
Well, that saved us about 17 minutes. Well, we've had this mystery juice in here soaking, trying to get some lubrication in there, clean it up, get those rings to come out and seal up. Hit her.
Hit her.
Okay. Wow. One of the 8 cylinders appears to have really good compression. You barely got anything anywhere.
No, I know.
Why did I leave the lightning hoses laying down in there? No, those are soakless. Well, let's put some new sparkulators in this. We'll dump some juice down the fire make it happener and see this thing run. All right, crank her. Come on, baby. It's idling.
You called it.
Yes, we got a hot rod.
Yeah.
It doesn't even smoke.
Uh-uh.
I think the exhaust is plugged because it was trying to come out of the donut gasket. All right, so now if we just rig up
Fuel system.
this should be enough to attempt a couple burnouts and get over to the barn. Okay, try it again. Getting a little better. Well, what I think the guy's gonna try to do is get this reversed uphill onto this gravel road back here. Oh yeah, no brake. I have a suspicion that the captain's side muffler is packed full, it's plugged, and it's trying to exit all the exhaust up here on the manifold and it's just choking the engine out. Let me see if I can get it up the hill. She's tuned.
Oh my God. The whole exhaust was full of water. Your suspicion was correct.
Plugged?
Dropped the pipe and just water just ran out of it.
Remember how I said it sounds like a boat?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably all the water we pumped out of the engine initially. I bet this thing runs like a scalded coyote now. get in unison with me. Haven't you ever driven in the car without the seatbelts down?
Yes.
This is slow rock. There we go. Still terrible, but more Goodrich. Oh, yeah.
The power. Uh-oh.
There's stuff dragging everywhere. Just keep going, because I don't got brakes.
Yeah, I mean, what choice do we have? Oh, we got gas flying in.
I think I ate a part of the seat. Oh, the speedometer works.
Oh, it does?
The wipers work.
Wipers do? Oh, this one's stuck. There we go.
The cigar lighter works. The radio works. Yeah.
That's what we need to pull right there.
Shoot, that was way too fast for cutting it here.
Your gas just dumping out.
I can smell it. Look out, Susie.
Oh, it's not blowing up.
It just needs a fuel atomizer that works. Well, we made it. Well, good morning. It's day 2 on the Blaisdell Chevelle. My brother Sean and I are up on the family farm, and this is going to be home base for the rest of the build. This is a machine shop my family put up sometime in the 50s, and, well, it's still kind of here.
Yeah.
A lot of memories in this whole thing. Makes sense to build it here, right?
Yes, sir.
We're trying to build a budget-minded kind of gravel bomber, something I could just leave up here in the barn so when I visit, we could just go have some fun and cruise in style. And this is the rig right there, but that being said, it needs a lot of work. I think I'm gonna start up front here with the engine. We need a little bit more pep under the hood. So I'm gonna strip this thing all the way down to a short block, basically, put a small camshaft in it, 4-barrel intake, 4-barrel carburetor, switch it over to HEI, put some headers on it, we'll bale and twine up some mufflers or something like that. Do you wanna do something with the brakes here?
I think we're gonna do a 4-wheel disc brakes on it.
All right.
Wipers.
They're still hooked up, wow.
So I'm gonna start out back here. I gotta drop that rear diff cover because with the disc brake conversion, I gotta take the axles out to get the backing plate off. And then I'll install the new bracket for the new calipers that are going on. The rear diff doesn't look that bad.
C-clip going in. Okay, pull it towards you. I'll slightly rotate it and push. There you go. All right, locked. John Belushi rear end gears. Ready to rock. All right. Do you see this hitch on here? It's pretty good. I got a Chevelle with a hitch. So Guy's gonna be putting a bump stick in this thing, just like you would at home. I'm gonna be leaving the engine in the car, but that creates some of its own challenges. Just the fitment and room to be able to pull that camshaft out and then properly reinstall it. And some of you might be thinking, well, it runs on 4 cylinders, so why are you putting a camshaft in it? Well, we're gonna hopefully be able to sort all of that stuff out as far as this thing misfiring and all that with the HEI and new lightning hoses, but end of the day, we gotta add more horsepower to this thing, and the biggest bang for buck typically is a camshaft, so that's what we're gonna do. I actually got mine on that Jungle website, and it came with matching lifters and shipped was less than $200, so, I mean, you can't beat that. So I'm gonna start by taking out the ice cube maker up here, get the fan off, the shroud, all the hoses, the water whirler, the charging whirler, all of the accessories, and we'll go ahead and pull this distributor out, get the manifolds off, basically strip all of this down, and then eventually we'll be able to slide that camshaft out later this afternoon. I'm gonna dig in.
Oh, there we can see evidence of all that water was in the engine. Looks clean under there otherwise. Heads were really clean. Woo! That's the original cam gear. And you can see it's cracking. That's what happens to these commonly. After age, these will crack, chip, and break. And these chains will stack up, your engine will get out of time, and done. We'll replace all that. Nice and gentle so we don't bang up our cam bearings, because of course we're not changing those. Oh. There we go. Original camshaft. Pretty good shape, actually. I don't see anything odd here other than you can see the old castings weren't that great. This engine's hot. We put a real tuna pinner. Oh, for Pete's sake. But did it work? It did. Worth it. Well, Sean's been working in the back of the car. He's got the disc brake conversion kit on, which is great. It looks awesome. I've been prepping the engine up here for a new bump stick on this thing. Now, something to keep in mind when you're selecting a camshaft is you really got to pay attention to what valve train and everything else you have. It's all got to work in unison, harmoniously together. So that in mind, I've picked a camshaft that's basically to the ragged edge of our setup here, which is stock springs, stock rocker studs. It's a cam called Bare Bones by Linati. It's a 465, 492 lift, which is a 224, 233 at 50, and it's on a 112 LSA. So we're about max performance without damaging our valve train or pulling a stud. It should sound pretty good. And I've used them before and we get pretty good performance out of them. So obviously you want to lube this up really good. We're trying to prevent premature cam failure during break-in, which unfortunately is just a thing today. I should mention this is a hydraulic flat tappet, which is the highest chance of running a cam lobe flat or damaging a lifter during break-in. So you really want to make sure you lube this and follow the break-in procedure. Right in they go. So instead of putting a standard like double roller or single roller timing chain in this engine, for whatever reason, it's not needed and obscene, pretty much. I'm putting a timing gear set in here. So instead of a typical cam gear and crank gear and a chain, we have this dog bone gear set here that's going to sit in like this, and then you have the crank gear down here. And it's arguable, but most people say that you get a faster throttle response and more accurate timing. And this is called a noisy gear set. So they intentionally manufacture it to where when you install this to set it up properly, it almost sounds like a roots blower running under the hood, even though it's a naturally aspirated engine. You know, that's kind of cool.
That doesn't seem right to do.
Framing hammer? What do you mean?
Oh my God, it's pure water.
That's not supposed to be in there. Sean, what'd you do?
It's pure water.
That's how we were running it. Open manifold, that's fine. Camshaft is successfully installed. We've got the lifters in, push rods, rocker arms on. It's time to adjust the hydraulic lifter preload. And I do that a different way than most. Instead of going through the firing order and watching valves do this and trying to remember everything, I do it, well, an old school way. Basically, I just set all of my lifters to zero lash, which is they won't go up and down, and I just rotate them between my fingers and slowly tighten the nut until I get a slight bit of resistance, and then I'll turn the engine over a quarter turn. I'll do it again, quarter turn, do it again. I rotate the engine 4 total times and make sure that I touch each one, and by then all of them will be at 0 lash. Then all I have to do is come back, come on here and do a 1/2 to 3/4 turn. You do what you want for your setup on each and every single one of these, and boom, I'm done. I don't have to do anything with valves opening and closing or firing order or anything like that. It's lifter preload for dummies. So we're gonna be converting this over to a 4-barrel carburetor, so we can flip the lid and get all that stuff going, and also an HEI. So we're gonna go ahead and put a different intake. Obviously we need that. We're going from a 2 to a 4-barrel. This is just an El Cheapo, no name, square bore, dual plane intake, and it's gonna work just fine. And we've got a cheap little engine dress-up kit that's all black. It's gonna tie this in. Next, I'm gonna jump into the water pump, rad hoses, radiator support, shroud, fan, and all of that. And as you can see, we've got a long list to go yet.
Oh, she's strapped in. She ain't going anywhere. No.
I've only ever been able to do that side from the bottom. Does that Grandpa's jack still work? That one that lifts like 3 feet?
I don't know how are we even gonna be able to get it that high? God, that thing's been around since I was born, I think.
How about that?
I think we gotta be like feet higher.
How do we block this up?
So, I mean, I think we're gonna have to get a lot higher than that.
Okay, let's think about this then. I wonder if we just have Tommy come in with the tractor and we just hook a chain on it. So we're trying to put the music pipes on, AKA headers. We got the drinker side in, we're trying to put the captain side in, but there's linkage that runs the transmission and the shifter linkage and the dipstick, and everything's a mess, and you gotta do it from the bottom. We don't have big enough jacks to get the car up high enough. So, Tommy did the right thing, bought a John Deere with forks on it, and we're just gonna hook a chain on it, try to lift it up. And if that doesn't work, then we're gonna have to do it the right way and take the motor mount out and tilt the engine. But we're just, trying to be lazy. Hopefully this works, or something's gonna get damaged terribly bad. All right, where's the...
There you go. I think you're in. Yeah? That worked surprisingly well.
It, went as good as I had hoped. Yeah, thanks, Tommy. Wasn't even a fight. This is my cousin, Tommy. He lives out here on the farm, and we've roped him into helping wherever possible. So now you're ranching and wrenching.
Good.
It's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the old points distributor that we just took out of the 307 back there. I've knocked the roll pin out. We've got the cam gear off of this. And I'm also modifying the top here, cutting a bunch of stuff off, cleaning it up. I'm gonna take the vacuum canister off of it as well. I'm gonna use this as an oil pump priming tool. So I could drop this in any small block Chevy or big block Chevy, drop it all the way in. I'm gonna weld a bolt on here, chuck it in a drill. And as I turn this, I can run the oil pump and actually prime the entire system, which is a very, very critical part of putting a new camshaft in. So I'm changing from a 2-barrel carburetor to a 4-barrel carburetor, and I chose the 650 Brawler. It's a mechanical secondary double pumper. So basically, when we stab the throttle, this little 307 is not gonna have a choice. It is pretty much all the air and fuel.
Well, Sean and I have been thrashing on this thing. We've even had some help with Tommy. He's back there cutting something unknown. Wanted to check in with the list here, see where we're at. 2 big projects that are next are servicing the transmission and getting that master cylinder installed. So we'll Rochambeau and get after it. The disc brake conversion on the front of the Chevelle here is a little bit more involved than the rear. We've actually got to change the entire spindle before we put a new spindle on, hub, bearings, and everything like that. This has got worn out shocks. We got to try to get the shock nut off without busting the shock. Another one bites the dust. We got to pull this apart, try not to have this explode and springs do all this stuff, and then reassemble it. And of course, you know, we probably should replace these ball joints. So I'm not going to do that at all and just put the new parts onto them.
So this vehicle came with 4-wheel drum brakes. A common upgrade is doing front disc brakes and leaving the drums in the back. But we found a kit that was really affordable, and it actually does discs all the way around. And we added a brake booster with the new master cylinder, proportioning valves, and all new lines. So essentially, this has a modernized 4-wheel disc brake system now. It's pretty awesome.
Guys, getting ready to service the old shift machine here. The engine was full of water. I guarantee this is also full of water. This should be like blood red. But what they're not supposed to look like is that. It's just Pepto-Bismol. Oh boy. So great news is there's very minimal amounts of clutch material in the pan. So once we get this cleaned up, topped off, new filter, I think the transmission's gonna be just fine. And yet another indication that it's probably a fairly low mileage car. It's pretty cool. Well, we've gotten to the point, there's a couple things left on the list, but none of this stuff prohibits us from firing this thing up. We have a cam break-in that we need to do with our new camshaft here, so we gotta just let her scream for about 20 minutes or so. So here goes nothing.
Pounds of oil pressure.
It's always a little nerve-wracking anytime you have a new engine build or a new camshaft. There's a lot of things that you gotta kind of at least attempt to do correctly. So again, we wanna make sure that we don't have any leaks, everything is right, timing is good, because we gotta let this thing just eat and chew in, and the lifter's gotta wear into the cam, and we don't wanna wipe this cam. Unfortunately, if it does wipe, really not a lot we can do. It's just, it happens a lot these days. So far, so good. Good job, man. Tommy. Yeah. Well, we're outside catching some fresh air. As you can hear in the background, the car's just screaming away doing the cam braking process. Thankfully, everything is going fantastic. We've got the timing pretty well dialed in, already set the floats. We're gonna have to bring it up to 3,000 RPM pretty soon, but we're almost done. Then we can get it back down to idle, do some idle circuit tuning. What a relief. We should be sliding through some gravel very soon in this Chevelle. I better check on it again, just in case.
So my cousin is moving cattle this morning, so offered to help because he's got, I think, a little over 200 head, and we got to go across the road over into another pasture here. So more hands you have, the better. So we're gonna go out and move some cows this morning.
So I'm getting ready to throw the tires on so we can roll the car over to the barn. We're obviously not going to use these old tires anymore. Derek had pulled these off his Monte Barro, so you might have seen them before. We know these work really good on dirt tracks because Derek went straight into a wall in the Monte Carlos.
Oh, yeah! Wall over there, there's a wall there.
So, perfect for gravel road sliding.
We are at the bottom of the list. We're gonna be doing some wipe-on clear coat. Yes, I said wipe-on. It's a urethane-based automotive finish. It's pretty cool. We're gonna roll it out to the barn. There's a hydrant over there. Scotch-Brite this, hand wash it down, then we can bring it back over.
You just hammered all those cars, dude.
That's what rentals are for. We gotta move this boat out of the way, Sean. We might as well use the Chevelle, huh? You wanna line me up?
Yep.
Up! Oh, yeah. We just need a gone fishing sticker. Oh, they're hammered. We're probably gonna cut the tires right now.
I gotta get a picture of this when we get out.
Yeah, that'd be good, huh? The boat kind of matches, actually.
It does.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad.
Oh, God.
It's rubbing everywhere. Dude, we gotta fix that.
How?
All I smell is burning rubber.
Same here.
Oh, yeah. We're
Oh,
done.
man. That is not good. Those are ruined.
Oh, man. These are my going to race tires. We've got a severe rubbing issue, and it's just not gonna go away. Even with air shocks and everything else, they're too wide, they're too big. Oh, my GMC. Tommy's gonna come in with the forks. So this is a little S10 pickup I put together on Vice Grip Garage YouTube. And I mention that because these tires on here are brand new, and we think it should be the same bolt pattern. So we're gonna pick this up with the tractor. That's perfect. Yep. Take these old tires off, take the original tires that were on the Chevelle, put those back on this truck, take the gold tires off the Chevelle and put these on.
Real gentle like.
Oh, and she's got an oil leak. Dang it. Yeah! Get away from that gate. Wow, this one was full of water too.
What's that coming out of?
The engine. There's a lot of snow up here. Most of these just get buried in snow. It's probably what happened to our Chevelle as well, but this was a good running, cute little pickup. And then the transmission went bad, stuck in first gear, but it's helping us out today still. Man, this is the way to change oil. I'm trying to watch the paint here. Well, now we officially have a Roadworthy episode here. We got our white letters back. So purple Hornies, white letter tires. Going good. Feller's popping in some new glass so we can see where we're going. And then we're gonna finish cleaning this thing up and get some clear coat on it here in a bit. So I'm going to be using the Vice Grip Garage urethane wipe-on gloss clear coat. And yes, you can actually just wipe it on. And this is going to preserve and protect not only our old paint, but our patina, rust, metal. It doesn't matter. Whatever you wipe this on, you're clear coating essentially. Just did it on that 80s Ford back there that just had faded clear coat and peeling clear coat, and it looks fantastic. So we're going to do this as well. It's going to make it pop, give it a bunch of character. Well, Sean, we just finished clear coating this thing, drove it outside. Looks like a completely different car in just 5 days. You think about it, sat up there on that hill for who knows how long, and I hadn't run in who knows how long. And now it's got a brand new fuel system, bigger rad. We put a dress-up kit on the engine, different intake, different carburetor, HDI conversion, headers, glass packs, put the camshaft in it.
All new brake lines, four-wheel disc brake conversion, brake booster, master cylinder. Everything on the brakes is brand new. Did a little bit of work on the interior in here.
I mean, this thing should do exactly what we're setting out to do, which is just bomb around the roads, right around the farm here, have some fun, tear it up a little bit. And that's exactly what we're about to do. Remember the first time we drove this? Running on like 6, dragging mufflers.
Maybe 3.
It was terrible. Let's go see what it can do now. Well, this is already 50,000 times better.
Yeah. Well, the kickdown didn't work there? Oh, yeah. Easy now.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's a billion times better. That's awesome.
Hey, who would have thought we would have been back on the family farm building Chevelle in the old barn?
I know. We used to ride the three-wheeler down this road to get the mail. Remember how the mailbox is way down here?
Yep.
Grandma, go get that mail quick. Like, Grandma, I'm 8. Oh, you'll have to, you're 5.
Oh, just take that 76 Trans Am out there.
Yeah. The exhaust is a little low.
Yeah.
Another classic back on the road. This thing, I felt terrible. Well, all those cars sitting up there.
Yeah.
I'm 18 billion miles away. I'm glad we could finally pluck one out.
Got one. Cut one out of the herd.
Yeah. Oh, the classic water shot. There you go. Dude, this thing runs pretty good for a 307. Showing off my credentials. I don't remember where it goes.
Left.
Hard left. Oh, man. That was washed out. feeding her. All right. Can you see anything?
Nope.
Hey, thanks for coming up to this episode of Roadworthy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty bad time.
You did great on the brakes, although we're not using them much.
No, have we even hit him yet?
Not really, no. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, there it was.
Oh, that was a good one.
We got oil pressure?
Yep.
Too much. Too much. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but stay tuned. There's plenty more to save.
I feel like a Raleigh driver.
Where's the road? Oh.
I can't see.
I just ate 4 different types of rocks.
Oh, that was a bad one.
So do you still want to go to Longhorn tonight? It's like a steak, potato. So before we go, we should check out this Ford. Grandpa's favorite truck.
How long has it been sitting up here?
Oh, a long time. I've never even seen it run. Look at the styling on this thing, though. This is just got the vintage looks. It's got a hydraulic bed, low miles. It's got a flat head in this thing. I don't know, it'd be a big project, but wouldn't it be cool to get this thing on the road? Maybe haul some grain or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday.